a particle is thrown upwards into the air from an origin O. The position vector P with respect to O after t seconds is r is equal to t squared I minus 2t squared j plus 25t minus 5t squared k meters. Find the velocity vector, the acceleration vector for P, and hence the magnitudes of the velocity and the acceleration at any time t. So basically what we're just going to do here, we're going to just do this by just looking at a GeoGebra app, and the app I will attach to the notes of the video. So going straight to the GeoGebra app, so I've got 3D here, so here it is the origin, here's my point P, and you can see the displacement vector t squared minus 2t, 25t minus 5t squared, at the moment because t0 is equal to that, and these are the velocity and the acceleration vectors. Now you notice that you can get the velocity vectors just like in 2 dimensions by differentiating 2t minus 4t, 25 minus 10t, and if you differentiate again, the second derivative, you're just going to get 2, minus 4, and minus 10. So this could be like gravity, these could be like wind or air resistance acting in a certain direction, so you don't get the particle moving like you normally expect in 2D. Now, Z is normally taken as the vertical height, X is that distance, and Y goes into the axis. And if we move the slider, okay, you can see the particle moving along that path like that, and what you can see. Now, one thing you will notice, if you take the magnitude of vector A, the components of A, you're just going to get a constant acceleration here, 10.95, but the velocity will change. Let's just put these on so we can actually see them a bit better. Okay, so the velocity and the displacement will change. Now let's just look at the components of displacement for a moment. So, because we've got 3 dimensions, we've got r of x here, r of y here, and rz here. So we go along here, r of x, then r of y, and then we go up here, r of z. That will give me the position of the point P. At the moment you can see 7.29 minus 14.58 and 31.05. If I find the magnitude of it, that will find me how far it is away from the point O. Right, if I now get rid of that and look at this one, maybe move it along a little bit, we get the components of the velocity at any time. So we're looking at t is equal to 3.2. So here is the x component, here is the y component, and here is the z component. Notice that they're all at right angles to each other. So same idea, you go along here, v of x, along here, v of y, and then obviously we're going to go down v of z. So we can see this is positive, this is positive, this is negative because we're coming out of the paper, and this is like going down. And we get the components like that. And to find the components of acceleration, again we'll just move it somewhere a bit, move it a bit different. Okay, maybe if we move them around a little bit we might be able to see them. Okay, so this is the x component, this is the y component, this is the z component. So along, start from here, from P to here, along, and then down, and you can see this one here is the resultant. So you can, the beauty of this, you can actually move it around and have a look at it from different angles. And if you've got red cyan glasses, you can actually watch it in 3D as well. But I'll put the app in the notes of the video. Okay, so in order to find the actual speed from the velocity, all you need to do is find the magnitude of the vector like you did before. Be careful with the minus signs. And if you want to find the acceleration, all you need to do is find the magnitude of the acceleration. The acceleration in this case is constant throughout. Now, if we wanted to find something like the vertical height, then we would need to find where the z component of velocity is equal to 0, which is actually there when t is equal to 2.5. That will give me the greatest height, because the vertical height in this case is given by z. And likewise, if I wanted to find where this hits the ground, then I could look here at where the vertical component displacement is equal to 0, and if I solve that, I'm going to get two values of t, aren't I? I'm going to get t is 0 where it started, and t is equal to 5 where it is now. Okay, so same idea as motion in 2 dimensions, really. So I hope this video helps you, and the GeoGebra app will be put in the notes of the video for you to explore, and I thank you very much for watching.